Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be trying out a more chatty video and I'm just going to be getting ready and talking about my college experience so far. So if you want to hear all about it compressed, then just keep on watching. Okay, so I guess the best way to tell this is just in chronological order. So I'm just going to start off with senior year. I always kind of knew what I was going to do. So I always wanted to major in psych and I always just thought I was going to go to U of O. I don't really know why. I just didn't really think of other options. So it was the only school I applied for and I got in. Sometimes when I talk too long, I completely forget how to breathe. So I have to like take a really deep breath. Anyways, I was in one of my classes. There was this girl named Beef 2 and she asked me to be her roommate and I was like, hell yeah. And we didn't really know each other that well, but we ended up being like soulmates, so that is really great. And she was my freshman year roommate in the dorms. Most of my friends ended up just staying and going to like the community colleges. I really think that's a really great option, especially right now, by the way. I did kind of want the college experience or whatever, and I wanted to move out and be on my own, and so that's what I did. So I moved from Portland to Eugene with high hopes. Dorms are actually really fun. I think maybe in the moment I didn't appreciate them, but looking back on it now, I do think I had a lot of really good memories. The fun thing is like there's always people around. So like you can just kind of leave your door open if you're feeling interactive and people will come in and chat and all that stuff. It's a really nice place, I guess, to meet people. They're all kind of doing this together and it's a oh my gosh, and if you need help like with classes and stuff, it's so helpful. I do feel really lucky to have like such a great roommate because there was a lot of drama as time goes on because you are spending like a lot of time with this person, and that's also another thing to keep in mind. And whether you guys are friends or not, living with people is so different and you learn a lot about people that way. So we really just got lucky with that. We got along, but there was definitely a lot of drama in the dorms, which sucks, but it's also kind of fun. It's fun when drama's not yours. What I thought would be like a whole new experience, a whole bunch of new people, really ended up being like kind of just like a bigger version of my high school. And it really wasn't much different. I ended up not really liking Eugene very much. I just felt like there was nothing to do, nothing to eat. I really didn't like meet very many people, that I liked, which is most likely my fault. I mean, it really was like college movies of like frat people and the sorority girls. There's a lot of going out. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then being at your 8 a.m. Monday, like that was the lifestyle. And that is totally cool if that is something that you're into, but that was just not quite for me. And if you don't really like going out, I do feel like it's a little bit harder to make friends and to meet people because it's just that's what people do. I started off majoring in psych. I wasn't doing great, but I wasn't doing bad. I was just kind of like doing average. Classes are kind of big, especially as a freshman. I don't know what it is, but I cannot pay attention if I'm in class. It is so hard. So I would spend all my class time just like on my computer doing homework. So sometimes it would be pretty productive, but yeah, that's one thing that I learned about myself. I was just taking like all the prereq classes. It kind of took me a while before I was finally able to take some psych classes and figure out like if that's what I even wanted. I don't know, I was just like not happy there. And I kind of like chucked it up to, is that a saying? Blamed it on being in the dorms. I was like, you know, once I live in an apartment, it's gonna be better because the dorms are just rough. We ended up having a lot of weird happenings. I don't know. It was just, you know what, I know I just said it was a good experience, but in the beginning, it's a really good experience. And then I don't know, as the year goes on, I think the crazy starts to come out. Yeah, so I was definitely done with it. I was done eating mac and cheese that we had to put like an entire bottle of pepper in to get some flavor. I was like, I'll give it another try, you know, because we're going to be moving into an apartment. And yeah, so I spent another year there. What I didn't realize is that, you know, the apartment was actually kind of worse because now like we live like 10 minutes away from campus, so now we had to worry about parking. So at least you live in the dorms and you live on campus, it's kind of like you wake up 5 minutes before you go to class and it's so nice. We bought a parking pass, which I thought implies that you're able to find parking, but of course not. Really, I'd have to wake up like an hour before my class and like drive around looking for parking. Sometimes you'd still end up like having to pay, or you'd have to like park in like the furthest away parking lot and end up walking for so long to class. Because like freshman year, I did the overnight parking pass when we lived in the dorms, and sometimes like when we'd bring in groceries and stuff, we would park in the like daytime parking just so we could run in and run out. But Eugene Parking and Transportation Service are like such opportunists. I got like so many tickets. So I thought this whole parking situation would be better, and then it turns out that it's like way worse. Pretty much like throughout this whole experience, I'm driving back home like a lot. Like I'm always home. And I used to think that I hated Portland, but moving to Eugene made me realize like I love it so much better here. There's not a single good restaurant in Eugene, Oregon. I could not find good food. And I know I'm complaining. This whole video is probably me just complaining about college, but that's okay. Other than parking though, I did like living in the apartment. It was fun. Pretty much what ended up happening was I had that lime crime shoot, and when I went to do this lime crime shoot, oh my gosh, saw all the people working in the office, and I just hadn't realized that that was even a job. You can work for makeup companies. That was like a very monumental moment in my life, and I was literally just like, wow, I feel like my talent is like super wasted right now because I don't know what I'm gonna do with a psych degree. I really just like want to change it. I was about halfway through my sophomore year and it just didn't even feel like a possibility. I had still only taken like the most basic psych classes. So pretty much my first year and a half, I'm taking like all prereqs, okay? Like nothing even for my major because I couldn't get in, which is so annoying. Winter term of my sophomore year, I'm finally getting to take all these psych classes. I think I was taking all psych classes. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this, just see like if I like it, like this will really be the determining factor. Me and Beef 2 have always like joked around about transferring because we hated it, blah, blah, blah. For some reason, that also seemed super like unrealistic. I don't know why, like I just didn't think you're allowed to change your major or change your school. Like it felt like I have chosen this path and I must finish it. And I just don't even know like where that came from. While I was thinking about that stuff, I was also thinking like, well, things aren't really getting better now that I'm at the apartment. I still just don't like it here. Austin had started at PSU. He really liked it. After thinking, I was just like, school is school. I thought that being at U of O was giving me something more and something better. But then I realized like it just wasn't. The same education no matter where you go. And PSU is a really good school too. I already had the college experience. I was like over it. Kind of nervous. I didn't want to like move back home because it's like out on your own. Coming back home, like it kind of feels like taking a step back because you're like, oh, I'm finally free, I'm an adult. And then you're like, I don't want to be an adult. I actually looked at apartments. I thought that I wouldn't be moving back home, but it is so expensive in Portland. I was like, hell no. All these things just felt out of reach, but I was just like thinking about it. Like, what if I moved back home? I just don't remember what like made me actually do it, but so I did end up applying. I also didn't want like my credits to be wasted. It was really hard to leave my roommate, and that was like the hardest part, but I was just so happy to get out of Eugene. I was right about school and stuff. I changed my major. I took all the psych classes and I was like, oh my god, like I don't even think I like psych anymore. I feel like it's like when you really like something and you have a passion for something, school kind of makes it go away. Also at this point, I had just met so many people working in the beauty industry and marketing and PR and all these places, know all these people now, and I was like, I want to work with them. I think that that's what I'm meant to do, and I think that's why all this stuff has happened, because I've never known what I wanted to do, and that is completely okay. Like I don't think you're even supposed to know what you want to do, and probably I'm not going to end up doing something that I know I want to do. I'm always just winging it. It just made me feel like I had a goal. I finally had a goal. I never had that, and I transferred and I moved back home, and I love living at home. Now is when all the happy stuff comes in. See, the beginning is like me complaining until I made the big change. I started taking business classes. A little bit different. Oh my god, you have to do so much teamwork. Force you to be in teams so often. My business 101 teacher was so not nice to me. I was like, dang, this is the life of a business major. That's the best thing about psych teachers is that they like really, they care about you. They want you to do well. And I'm not sure I'm not sure a lot of teachers are like that, honestly. Teachers are such a hit and miss. That's why you have to look it up on Rate My Professor, because like I've had horrible teachers. We literally had like a scandal. My hardest class I ever had to take was stats, and the TA was so mean to me. I would like email him all the time, and his response is like, I just knew he thought that I was so stupid. I just didn't care. Like, it doesn't really matter. What was I even saying? Oh yeah, my business teacher was not nice to me. A lot of them are not flexible. I know this is true because I had to take a few more psych classes at PSU for it to be my minor. And like the teachers were so nice and so understanding. One of my marketing teachers was like, the average for my class is a C. Like, girl, why are you bragging about that? That's not something to brag about. That means you suck. But other than that, I've been doing so much better in school. What makes me like bad is I'm not good at taking tests. I have really bad memory. It's really hard for me to just memorize things. It really is a system. Like sometimes it's not about learning. It's just about what you can remember. If you're really good at remembering things, then so great for you. But that's why my grades weren't that great, is because I would do really good on my papers and stuff, and then my tests would just be horrible. So my first term with the business major, I don't even remember what my grades were, but winter term, I got like 2 A's and 2 A minuses. For the first time ever, all A's. A minuses isn't a 4.0, so I don't know if I can say all A's if I got some A minuses, but like for the first time in my life, all A's. I was like, what the hell is going on? I was taking accounting. And then spring term comes along. 3 A's, 1 A minus. I'm like, oh my god. Summer term comes along, because I was only behind by 1 term, so either I could have added a term at the end or taken summer term. Summer term comes along, 4.0. That's when I knew, like, oh yeah, like this was the perfect, like, yeah, that's what I was meant to do. And not only that, but I am like so much happier now. The terms Austin and I had like the same like starting time and ending time, so we like carpooled, and that was super fun. And then like since Austin likes going to the gym and stuff, he got me to start going to the gym, and we were doing that together, and that was like really fun, because I felt like since I was so unhappy, I was never like motivated to do things. I just feel like so much better here, that it was like making me do all these things and making me feel better. I also learned how to be good at school. I think the reason I'm doing way better is actually because of online school, because remember how I said like I can't pay attention? That 1 hour and 50 minutes in class is like just such a waste of time for me, since I can't even listen. So now that I most of the time don't have to do that, I get to do it all on my own. I'm not wasting like whatever 1 hour 50 times 4 is. God, okay, 1 hours is 4 hours. 50 minutes is, let's just round it up, 8 hours like 2 times a week. I'm not wasting like 16 hours a week sitting in class not paying attention. Now I'm actually putting that into like me learning. I always do extra credit now. Extra credit is such a game changer. It really pushes you above, and it gives you room to like not be the best. It's okay. If you get like C's, I got a C on my midterm and my final, still will get an A because I did the extra credit. Teachers who don't offer extra credit suck. I just have a system now. I've been like reading. Like I'll actually read the textbook. I mean, who knew? That's kind of what I learned, but all in all, it really doesn't matter. Like everybody's gonna be different, so you just have to figure out what works for you. And do not be afraid to go to office hours, because a lot of the times your teachers are just sitting there doing nothing. I think teachers become a little bit detached. You know, they're teaching the same thing over and over again. Sometimes they don't even realize that maybe it's like hard to pick up, and just going there and talking to them and having them like for real like explain it to you is really helpful. The biggest thing I've learned is it's okay to make changes and to not stay on the same path if you don't like that path. You can just like do whatever you want. I may have not been very happy my first 2 years, but I still am really thankful that I got to spend that time there. So surprised, but I kind of finished my story before I even finished my makeup, so I'm just gonna finish it and then come back. We're back. Here is my final look. I guess that's the end of my chatty get ready with me. I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I was kind of nervous. Hopefully some of you guys find it helpful. It's definitely been a journey, but I really feel like I'm at the perfect place right now. It's great because I didn't think that was gonna ever happen. Let me know if you guys like this type of video, because I would love to do more, or what else you want to know, or what else I could talk about, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!